Is this winning physique of Samson Dauda at the 2023 Arnold Classic the best physique in the world today? Well, considering he just defeated Nick Walker, who took third at the last Mr. Olympia event, on paper he could already be considered as the third best in the world right now, behind the top two finishers at the Olympia, Hadi Choopan and Derek Lansford. In this video, we entertain the idea that this Arnold Classic 2023 winning physique of Samson is even better than the physique of our last Mr. Olympia winner Hadi Choopan. For this, I have 4K footage samples for the routines of both Hadi and Samson, put side by side for every mandatory pose. So without any further ado, let's get started. Front double biceps, and we already can see that this will not be an easy task. We have two quite different physique types, yet both great. Hadi is shorter overall and his proportions consist of shorter limbs, a blockier waist and wider shoulders, while Samson is tall, having long limbs and a tiny waist. Samson's body type will always have the advantage in such a mix, but Hadi compensates with thinner looking skin and harder looking muscles. Considering that Samson's conditioning is on point as well, although Hadi looks really good in this pose, Samson is my pick here. Aside for the more pleasing overall flow, he also has the superior biceps, which are an important aspect in a biceps pose. Up next is the front lat spread pose, and this is usually a Hadi power shot, but I'm not convinced he's beating Samson here. I know I will probably upset all of the die-hard Hadi fans, but come on, how is Hadi winning this pose right here? I for one can't see it. I know from memory that Hadi can do better in this pose, but as both of them look right here right now, I have to go with Samson again. Not only that he's got the better structure, his lats are more visible than Hadi's as well. So at least for me, not a hard choice, it's Samson again. So Samson already has a 2-point advantage after the first two poses, and looking at the side chest pose now, things look bad for Hadi Choopan. This is not one of his better poses, mostly because of his arms and shoulders, which look weak from this angle. When we look at Samson, we can see some nice round shoulders, superior triceps and a great chest too. It's true that Hadi has an advantage downstairs at the side leg department, but it's not enough for him to win this pose. For me, it's Samson yet again. Let's see if from the back Hadi can make a comeback in this comparison, because things look bad right now. Back double biceps, and it's pretty close. Hadi looks sharper downstairs with more details and cuts through the glutes and hams, but upper body, he looks like he's holding more water than Samson. Hadi's advantage is that his back is more massive overall, it's bigger, wider, thicker, and in spite of looking more watery, if we take into consideration the lower body as well, I think we can make a case for Hadi to win this pose, a pretty strong case. But I'm being nice to Hadi here. He's getting this pose, but nowhere near as clear as Samson won the previous 3 poses. Back lat spread, and finally this is a pose where Hadi dominates. In this other back pose it becomes even more obvious that Hadi's back is just bigger and better overall. Samson lat spread looks good, but this is a clear win for Hadi Choopan. So Hadi made a pretty strong comeback with the back poses. Up next is the side triceps pose, and this is what we have for Hadi in this pose. In this piece of footage, not the traditional pose, but rather the hoo-ha pose that bodybuilders usually hit, transitioning out from the side chest. Too bad that Hadi avoids hitting this pose in his individual routines, because I like his side tri. On the other hand, Samson looks great again, but I don't really like the way he's leaning forward here. A more straight up execution would be more appropriate in my opinion. We can't make a definitive decision in this pose with what we have here, so I have to bring a picture into the picture for Hadi hitting the pose, and for me, Hadi's side triceps pose is better than Samson's. So Hadi's comeback is complete, the score is 3-3 right now. Abs and thighs, and in this pose, the more aesthetic guy has always the advantage, and in this case the more aesthetic guy is Samson, no doubt about it. But we also have to consider the actual abs and thighs in this pose where Hadi beat Samson. Hadi has the better abs and the better thighs out of the two. I know it's close, I know I'm going to upset a lot of people regardless of my decision about this pose, but I'm going with Hadi. So yeah, the remontada is complete. Hadi went from a 3 points handicap to leading this comparison 4-3. Last pose is the most muscular, and this is another easy win for Samson in my opinion, just like in the side chest pose. The worst out of Hadi's arms and shoulders get the highlight from this angle. Samson's guns are round and full, his chest looks strong. Like I said, easy win for Samson. Easy win again, which brings me to the conclusion of this comparison. Even though the score is 4-4, I feel like Samson won his 4 poses in a more dominant way, whereas some of Hadi's wins could have gone to Samson. It was quite close. Aside from maybe the back lat spread, all the other poses Hadi won could have gone to Samson, but I can't say the same thing about the poses Samson won. I don't think there's too much room for interpretation there. So because of this, I believe Samson is the winner of this comparison overall. This Arnold winning version of Samson defeats the current Mr. Olympia Hadi Choopan. What do you guys think about it? Make sure you let me know your opinion in the comment section below. Like always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you soon, guys.